I think the dwell time's huge. I think engagement factors becoming more and more important within Google search.
Even if you've only got a 6 to 8 question quiz and the average completion rate is 70%, that's almost an extra minute in average engagement and user dwell time.
If you're not making your pages more interactive and just having a big wall of content, you should be doing. It's the future of SEO. Hi, so today I'm joined with Jamie, and today is all about QuizWizard.AI. So let's jump straight in, Jamie. What made you create the tool of QuizWizard.ai?
Yeah, so originally it was called vid to quiz. In that, like, you put just a video in it, it turned it into a quiz, which could also be like a Google form. The idea being it was more like of a niche use case, lower TAM with just like the Google form stuff. But having seen like successful things go in a similar way, but without the AI, like on your try interact or interacts and like different type of like quiz like for creators and bloggers sort of things, it made a lot more sense to then transition that from just being like a vid to quiz to being like article to quiz, and then make it embeddable into like content. And so I spoke with the original developer, and I was like, mate, you're going after a market that just the vid to quiz market is not that big. But you can reroute this to be more creator friendly and blogger friendly. For a lot of people who have got existing content that want to maximize the engagement metrics and also turn it into a lead gen thing. So we got talking. I was like, mate, you should do this. A day later, I've shipped it. I was like, that's fast. I was like, all right, so mate, I reckon you should make it so you can do blank quizzes as well. So then, like, you can choose to go from scratch, AI inform that, and then move that over there. So it's not, if you don't have the content, you can still do it. Cool. A day later, yeah, I've just shipped it, mate. I was like, fuck, mate, this is the most diligent developer I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen this guy. None of the people I've worked with before have ever shipped like this, like just straight building stuff every day. So from there, it was just a really great collaboration. And so now equal partners on this. We've built it to be like a more mature product, but there's still a lot more coming. And so that's how it came around, really. It was originally just a video tool, and now it's more for creators and bloggers.
That's class. So initially the idea was from the developer that you've seen, and then you've kind of implemented and improved upon that. Is that kind of how it all started then?
Yeah, so I'm helping market and like also do product vision, just because if I've been in this industry longer and he comes from a traditional development, full stack development background, I know the SEO, like niche site content, blogger, creator, sort of marketer mindset, ICP better. And so just from what I know I want on my sites, I was like, mate, I want that if you make it do X, Y, and Z slightly different and tweak those elements. And so I was making it because I wanted it for myself. And then if I want it, the hope is that enough of other people want it to make me filthy rich. And so, yeah, that's how it came about.
Can the quiz be added, let's say, like at a pop-up stage, like an exit pop-up?
Yeah, so it can't do that yet. But that was a really good, like, I've been thinking about this, and we can do that pretty easily because the same, like, HTML is in the same bit. The only thing that's different is because if you create a quiz from your own content, so you go and you've got your guide or, like, service page or anything like that, if you aren't on the bottom of the page when you leave, you may get given a quiz that has questions that you haven't read the content to know the answer to yet. And so that's better as if you were going to do something like that, I wouldn't use an AI generated quiz that will take every piece of content, including the bottom parts of your article that might like confuse people. I'd do a blank quiz that especially like focused on that particular page that is more like goal focused rather than like engagement focused. You can do it, and we'll build that. It actually isn't too difficult to build. We can probably build that in half a day. But at the moment we have to put them in a certain place. And so at the moment the guidance is put it at like the crescendo of the content, like the bit where like you've maximized engagement and now there's like the maximum reciprocity, and they're going to go and give you some value back because you've entertained them, rather than like risking, like some people write articles that like, or the copywriter isn't fantastic, where like you lose momentum towards the end. It doesn't keep people on. And so if you put the quiz at the bottom of the page when you've lost some of that momentum, it can be like less like impactful. And so at the moment you do have to embed the HTML, like just as a simple like custom HTML blog, one click and paste on WordPress, same on Wix and Squarespace. But we can easily build the pop-up bit. It's really like one of the easier development challenges.
Yeah. So this quiz is easy. Once it's been made on QuizWizard.ai, it can easily then just be embedded onto pretty much any page that you want.
Yeah, you literally just go /custom and then bring up the custom HTML block on WordPress, and then just paste the code in just from the one-click copy and paste on the actual thing. You can actually host them on the QuizWizard AI domain. just if you want to send people there, if you don't want to send them, just like, you know, if you're sending them from Facebook. Cole Broadbent used it for a couple Facebook posts that were just sending them directly there, because all you've got on the page is the quiz. But if you want more content around it to prime people to like make them more likely to take it and like complete it, then it can still be good to have it on a website where you control the branding and the UX and the UI for that. But some people will just send them straight there. We've also just made it, and we may change this because people are starting to abuse it, and it's like kind of fucking with the domain a little bit. But you can index the quizzes to like try and rank like Parasite, like two different, like you can rank your quiz, and then you can rank the QuizWizard domain. But we've got a lot of pages starting to get indexed, and the domain is not powerful enough to support all of this yet. So we might have to change what gets. Like some people are starting to go crazy, basically.
And then if I was to embed it on some of our sites, can the quiz be designed like CSS styled or coloured in any way or branded or anything like that on the site? Or
so that's the next thing that we're building, because we've got several different quizzes, and some of them have different CSS styling, different like, and even different use cases. Like one of them has a timer, one of them doesn't, one of them's larger, one of them's thinner, one of them is like built for like different styles. You can't change the specifics around it. You can remove the branding if you're on a paid plan. The next thing we'll do is implement like custom branding and custom like CSS styling with regards to like at least like padding size, font size, and colors. Because those are the easiest to change and like the most impactful for viewers. But you can't do that at the moment, but you do have several different styles of them as of now. So you can, within reason, pick one that best suits like your branding aesthetic and like the use case. Like if you want it to have a timer or like not have an email CTA versus have one and stuff like that.
Do you know what I absolutely love? I'm asking you all these questions of can you do this and can you do that? And you're young and you're innovative, and I can see that you want to take this quiz to like new heights. That whatever I'm asking you, saying it might not be here yet, but I can definitely make it, which is brilliant. Like for any viewers that are watching that don't yet have a quiz set up embedded on their site, I strongly recommend you signing up to QuizWizard.AI. And yeah, ask them any questions that you want improving upon the site. But anyway, let's roll on. Are you going to start to do any pre-made quizzes? So like, let's say someone comes along and says, all right, I want a quiz for this. You're going, we've already got that, and it's pre-made, and they might be able to tweak one or two answers to the questions, or even tweak one or two of the questions, but there might be a 30-step quiz that people want out of the gate that's just like, this is what others have done and it's worked well.
Yeah, we can do one better actually. We've I'm trying to buy all of the quiz sites that have been hit in the HCU, so we can just 301 all of the ones they've done in. And if they say no, we'll just put through the sitemap through QuizWizard, because you can do a sitemap import into QuizWizard, create all of the hundreds of them at once, and then you've got all of them from there. And so if they want to play easy or hard, that's their choice, but we'll have all of those very soon, and then it's pretty easy to then embed them and have them as like styled ones from there. If you don't want your sitemap gone in, sell to us, basically.
Right, I'm going to go for a few things because some people might be watching this saying like, why do I need to get QuizWizard.ai, right? So obviously there's some very basic questions, but people might not know. So what are the actual benefits of adding quizzes to your website?
So, just a disclaimer, there's loads of other options for this stuff, and it may not be the best fit. The last thing I'd want to do is try and convince someone that this is going to solve all your problems if you have just a different business case that might suit something else. For example, what we've managed to do is build the AI-generated quiz to save you time and the actual, like, annoyance and encumbrance of creating a quiz from scratch and the ease of embedding it, to mean that you can now have custom, unique ones for each blog post or anything else at scale very easily. But if you're looking for really just to have one quiz that has more bells and whistles on it, there are other tools and lead gen form things that can do, at the moment, do a better job. But we want to get there. But when I'm talking about the benefits of quizzes, I mean the stuff that we're best at even, is from maximizing engagement and email conversions from your entire content backlog, because we offer with AI and the ability to do that at scale, when we've done a lot of work on reducing the cost of generation per quiz to bring that down for them. Like, for example, if you go on one of the biggest quiz tools at the moment, Try Interact, you get like 5 or 10 for the same price that you'd get like hundreds with us, but they have been built to a higher standard right now that we're still playing catch up on with regards to that. So if you just want 1 or 2 like lead gen forms, those are still they are operating at a high level now. But if you want to get an entire suite of quizzes across all of your content and your portfolio, then we've managed to bring the cost down significantly in time and scale with AI. So what they're good for is one. We've spoken about this privately in masterminds and stuff, in that there's a lot of like user metrics being in our opinions used for, like, in the same way e-commerce brands, you said that yourself, will get like 4 pages per session, whereas like a lot of my content sites, I think they're better than average, but they'll still only do 1.5, 1.6 pages per session. Simply because you go on one content page, you might go on another, you might leave, you might click an affiliate link and go, and that's your page. And even though it's profitable, that's that. You're not keeping them inside and doing anything else. And in the same the bounce rates could be higher, the pages per session could be lower, the time on page and engagement rates can be lower. And quiz is a pretty good way to get people clicking and like paying attention to your stuff. Like, in my opinion, I'm sick of seeing pop-up email CTAs that are just like, join my newsletter for the latest in your inbox. 1, it's a weak offer, and 2, it's annoying and it's not giving me value. And so like the quizzes is a great way of making it more like a handshake rather than like I want this from you. You give them entertainment, you help engage them and learn the topic at a new level. And then you entertain them, and then if they engage with it and they want to find out their answers, they put their email in, and then you get the email, and then you can warm them up from the sequence, take them through your funnel if you're a more traditional business, anything like that. So yeah, the main 3 things that I tell people are: 1, engagement, which has its own SEO benefits. There may be elements of HCU that are more user metric focused than we thought, especially post API leaks, where there's a lot of talk about click and user data. Number 2 is emails. We've managed to very much increase the amount of emails we were getting per page view across our entire content portfolio, because instead of having to create a custom, like really good, powerful PDF offer to then improve like your pop-up rates, you can just have quizzes that are tailored to your audience on every single page automatically. And 3, quizzes go crazy on social media, especially Facebook. And so if you could easily turn what was just a normal article into a quiz that you can go, take our quiz on golden retrievers, England's performance at the Euro 2024, anything on how much do you know about installing fiberglass car window, whatever. I don't know anything about this stuff. Yeah. But you can instantly make that more attractive, get more clicks, and then hopefully use that as a lead gen thing and as a traffic thing, because some people just run display ads to these things. So it's social media, emails, and engagement.
So for anyone who's not yet collecting emails, obviously you're saying this is a great way of grabbing people's email address, and then you can put them into like an email funnel. What's the benefits of collecting the emails and collecting that data from the viewers and people who's on your website?
Oh, mate, I don't know why you're asking me. You're the funnel master over here. I don't know why you're asking me.
I've got you on, mate. I'm asking you all the questions here.
Well, yeah, like when SEO and like affiliate SEO was really good, faceless traffic was fine because there was so much of it coming in, there was so much money coming in that I never prioritized. I didn't have to sell a high ticket product because I was making so much money from affiliate that I didn't even need to think about it. And so to my discredit, I didn't develop my multi-step, multi-funnel marketing skills enough. And so I see the loss just more keenly than most people, I think, because I got very good at content management, CRO, and the psychology side, but I didn't get good at the multi-step, higher ticket fund to increase like average revenue per user, retention rate, and the faceless traffic was so good that I didn't need to keep people around. Now, SEO is not, and content is not as easy as it was. It's more difficult to drive clicks than ever before, and it's more difficult to engage people in an age where people can go on TikTok and get 3 seconds of dopamine explosion any second they want. And so, yeah. You want to keep people around. It's going to be difficult, more and more difficult to get brand impressions and brand, like, I guess, awareness, but also like engagement and devotion. And so any way you can get people to stick around beyond one impression, put them into your funnel, retarget them, get the pixel data, anything like that is fantastic. You know, you're the guy for this. I don't even want to start talking about email funnels and just for having you tell me everything that I'm doing wrong. Though I'm sure that would be a great one for anyone listening to find out. But yeah, like if you've got an effective welcome sequence, you've got more value to offer them, free stuff, tripwire stuff before you go into the higher ticket services, products, or anything else you offer. That's essential, and you can take a page view that you can acquire for a few cents per click into someone that can be worth thousands over in their lifetime value by going and collecting emails in the right way, and then having the right offer on the back end as well that suits them and is also profitable and applies to enough people to be a big offer.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great answers. I mean, just expanding on that a little bit, the a couple of other benefits as well for anyone who's watching. If you was to collect those emails, and from an SEO standpoint was to get those people back to your site, return visitors on engagement factors is also huge. So if you can keep getting return visitors back to the site, Google are seeing that, and they're actually using that click data via nav boost, which is in the Google leaks, but we've known about it for a long time. That return visitors is huge. He touched upon there tripwire marketing. Once you've got their email, which you're not asking them for a lot, you're just asking them for the email, you can start understanding the flows of where you can take them to whether they start to purchase certain cheap courses or they're looking for more expensive kind of products and services. And you can start to funnel and nurture your customer base via email. You're never going to lose them, obviously, unless they unsubscribe. But generally speaking, as long as you're providing value, you've now got that client away from them. Like what Jamie was talking about with regards to clicks now are costing a lot more than ever, if I'm being honest with you. So being able to get that email is huge, and using quizzes to capture the email is a much, much better way than like what Jamie was saying, having a big pop-up in your face, sign up to my newsletter with zero value being offered. Like what is the point in signing up there? So, but I want to talk about a couple of things. Obviously, I know the answer to some of these, but the viewers might not. So you said quizzes increase the time on the page. Do you think that dwell time on the page helps rank that page better in Google?
I think generally, yes. There will be occasional very short answer question and answers where it might be a niche case where like the intent is not to stay on that page forever. But even then, like I'd still not hate like having a really long dwell time versus short. I think it reduces the likelihood that anyone is gonna, one, click the back button, and two, click the back button quickly. And I would on the whole, there are niche cases like depending on the intent of the query, but I would say on the whole it's better like if in some cases like you'll have these quizzes. I've put PDFs that I found online through QuizWizard, for example, like on like examples of like really like boring topics, right? And like it was like fair trade, the complete like handbook for someone who's gonna like work for a charity, right? It created 48 questions. Let's say you had that on your website as like an engagement thing, so that anyone wanted to come learn more could do it. And let's say only 50% of the questions were answered on average, 24, and every question takes 10 seconds to answer. That's just 4 minutes per person that you added onto there. And not all of them should be that long, and you won't necessarily get that rate on everything. But they really, like, even if you've only got a 6 to 8 question quiz and the average completion rate is 70%, that's almost an extra minute in average engagement and user dwell time.
I think the dwell time's huge. I think engagement factors becoming more and more important within Google search. I think they're using it more and more than ever, because I think especially now people can start to scale content with AI and stuff like that more and more. It's becoming easier for people to do topical authority. People are buying links more than ever, so they're getting those votes and getting those kind of that power being going through to the site. So I feel like the engagement factors, a lot of time it's hard to gain engagement, real engagement is hard to gain. So by having these quizzes to increase the dwell time is huge, in my opinion. Another one here, quizzes increase engagement time to multiple pages. Do you think that clicking onto the multiple pages is a Google ranking factor?
I'd say, what, pages per session? Well, if we're going to, like, I mean, it's correlative, right? But if we're talking about e-commerce that all sailed through and then content pages that didn't, and e-commerce have a lot more pages per session. We actually argued for this because I had a different opinion on, like, because I saw a lot of fake e-commerce stores re-ranking, and so I was like, oh, is it the signal based or is it like engagement based? But a lot of those have since been hit, and so I'm leaning more towards like your side since we had that discussion a couple months ago with the number of pages per session being important. A method I recommend to people who want to implement quizzes is like, on pages where there's like a listicle or like a 9 fixes for something or like 5 tips for this. If you've got an internal, like, and each of those internal links to like more niche articles on those, each of those fixes or tips or guides or interior design examples, like you can actually create a mini quiz from the other article, embed it in your main one, and then use that to like tease them like with a few questions, and then send them to the specific one from there.
Class. Yeah. That was going to be one of my next questions is like, can you get one quiz, like a micro quiz? kind of going to another page, which is the bigger quiz, or also within the quizzes, any of the questions, can you get it with links in there that can go through to get more information before they're giving the answer, like which colour do you prefer best? Oh, by the way, check our colour range. And they're going through to a page, a different page to get the colour range, and it opens up in a new tab. Then they're going back to it saying, okay, I like the light red better than the green, or whatever that it is. Obviously, completely product and service dependent, but I reckon that the quizzes would be able to try to get multiple sessions, multiple pages per session being done. And then, if it can, I wonder whether adding these quizzes could, and it's a big could, but could doing that on some of these affiliate sites start to help recover? Because if you're starting to get more dwell time, better engagement, nav boost looks better, click data looks better, more pages per session, like maybe it could be an answer. I'm not saying it's going to be the only thing that they need, but could quizzes be something that they're able to go after to help? Probably. So how to apply quizzes to businesses versus content businesses.
Yeah, so this is the leap we still need to make, because we built this originally to get our initial set of customers to then finance the rest of the growth off the smaller blogger ICP. So like ICP being media final ad thrive level site that can support quizzes without worrying about the cost that you'll be instantly profitable on, easiest sell from there, before we then go and build the rest of the lead gen capabilities that are more like segment based. A lot of the things that you talked to me about around like how to segment leads, highest completion of lead rates, associative, like the business version of like a personality quiz where you go in one direction based on the average type of answer that you give. Those will be the things that we want to move towards, and then even do that on an AI powered. I don't think anyone's managed to do that with AI yet, whereas we want to use that to make that easier to, rather than having to manually create fields and stuff, to give you 80% of that as well. But yeah, at the moment it's still primarily a content focused tool. But yes, to become more of a business applicable tool, it has some uses, but it's just not as fit for purpose as stuff that already exists. But that is the long-term goal, to be closer to the revenue and to be closer to the lead gen area.
Somewhere I would love you to take it, right? I love scorecard marketing. If anyone doesn't know what scorecard marketing is, I reckon you should search this up, because it's very important, especially if you wanted to get into any sort of lead generation or kind of pre-qualify some existing clients that you might have. I'll give you an example of it, Jamie, right? I would want scorecard marketing being set up. Basically, what I was saying is, where is your brand going to? And I would love you to be able to gamify a score at the end of the quiz. And what this would do I could potentially then, like how you've got the personality test, and it's at the end of it, it tells you what kind of personality trait of what you are. I would want it to pre-qualify people that start telling me what the website is, how many staff that they have, how much they're spending on marketing, blah, 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 right? And they'll follow through the quiz. And at the end of it, it would give them a score. And let's say they scored anything from 0 to 20 points. That means they're right at the start of them looking to start doing marketing, and it's not really something I can help with. But I might be able to pass them on to someone that's a very low budget SEO agency. But if they score 20 to 40 and they're a bit further on, they've got a little bit of a budget, they might be looking to do not just SEO, but a bit of PPC. You might, I'm willing to take these on. But you're able to score them to see how far through, as being a really big client that's got £50,000 a month to spend versus a lower client. Could this gamifying it with a score at the end, one for them, or giving them kind of seeing where they're up to, could be like health checks or whatever. Could this quiz at one point, depending on what they answered, assign a figure at the side of it, which would then able to give a score at the end, so it gamifies it. And then we would able to, once we know the score and we've got data from the quiz, be able to tell them what their best next steps are.
Yeah, it's very much more difficult to do, just why we haven't built it and gone and done the specifics, especially with if you're matching A, B, C, D, it's easier than matching the semantics of how you answer for an open-ended question, which is where you get the highest engagement when people start telling you their problems themselves, and then now they've qualified themselves to you, right? So if we're going to build that, we try and go the whole way with Yeah, like, to give you an example, you might have to remove this. Actually, no, you can say it, but you can have it on here. But we want to like build all of like the worst like marketing frameworks for like like the ClickFunnels style things, and then train it on that so that it can tell and then create automatic open-ended box questions that trigger the most like vulnerability in response, so that you can like give all your heart away and now you're sold on whatever the solution is for like high emotion offers.
Yeah.
You can combine that with AI because that's semantics, which is like more difficult when you just click A, B, C, and D. But you can, if you're just doing A, B, C, and D, it's easier than to like do something more like qualitative than quantitative. But it can be done. It's just a lot more work. It's why I haven't built it yet. Well, the end goal is to take it more there and then to make it to be like a really good emotion detector, as well as like a lead value detector. But it is just a lot more work, and it will take a lot of testing.
See, something else, right? I get a lot of new business opportunities, new investment opportunities, and even existing staff in the office that want to enter new markets. And they're like, do you think this could work? Do you think that could work? And what I've started to do, and I would love to know whether your tool could integrate this as well, would be, could we do not even a lot, it's like a pre-launch saying we're thinking of doing this, and then send that quiz out, and then start asking the questions to, let's say we wanted to do something for builders. We'd go and send that quiz out to 1,000 builders and gauge the feedback from 1,000 builders to see would they be interested in, if we was to launch this product or service, would they be interested in it, right? And as they're going through the quiz, we'd ask them certain questions, like obviously, would you be interested in it for one? And if you would be interested in it, what would be the lowest price you would deem here for the product to be or service to be until you feel like this doesn't sound like it's quality enough, it sounds like a bit of a scam, versus the highest end that they'd be willing to pay before they go, this is too expensive, I'm not going to do it. Because if your tool in time could do something like this, basically, I think it already can, if I'm being honest with you, that this quiz could turn around and help people on pre-launch to go out with an idea and get that data and feedback prior to even looking to set up any sort of brand for it. And they can almost go down the route of join the wait list if they are interested. And you could then start to ask, whether it's business partners, investors, staff, until you've got 100 people on the wait list that say they're interested, I'm not going to launch the brand. And your quiz could do something like that. I don't know if anyone's doing that or not via a pre-launch.
I don't think anyone's using the quizzes for that at the moment. And there are more fit for purpose tools that can do that, to like that are built more specifically for that. But as far as I know, they're all like 5 times the price, and so it's a value judgment that anyone wants to make. I do think it could do that, but it's just not built specifically for that. We could build better like feature sets to make it more suited to like the real like lead gen demand assessment. But yeah.
I think another huge one for you, which you didn't mention on before, the benefits of QuizWizard AI, is previously there's no chance I could rank for a term which was niche or service or product with survey or with quiz or with trivia questions. But now I can go after all them terms that's very relevant to my niche, that I could then turn around and create the quiz, and then it can rank it for survey and rank it for trivia questions on that page and have the quiz on that page and fill my topical authority because it's still very relevant to my product and service. That's another like great reason of having these quizzes set up on the site. Have you had any that have literally gone after like trying to rank for all the quiz keywords for their kind of niche?
We've we're trying to buy all the ones that did, that got hit, and that's so it's gone a lot more like a lot of the informational steps have gone more towards big brands that have got that have built quizzes for this stuff. But yeah, you can absolutely do it. A lot of the trivia ones are actually, they don't have dynamic quizzes on. They just they're like stats posts. They've just got facts. Because I was going for a lot of these trivia keywords. Quizzes usually have a more dynamic like a quiz of by either us or someone else. But a lot of the trivia keywords are up for grabs because they are just static like posts that anyone could write with AI, because it's one of the easiest things to write is like a list of facts, because there's pretty good recall as long as you check that they are real. Something that I do advise people do, and I'm still testing this, is literally just get like a Cuppa or a Koala or a ChatGPT or a Claude to create you a list of trivia facts on the topic, and then all you have to do is stick that right back into the quiz wizard, and it will turn that into a dynamic thing, and then you've got the actual content on the page that gives you more like relevance like towards the actual topic, as well as the engagement thing that will spike engagement over the static just written content ones. Quiz is more competitive because more people are being able to build them or using tools to do them, in the same way that calculators have got more competitive as ChatGPT got like better at building calculators. You still have to have some technical skill, but is the barriers have reduced. But yeah, the trivia ones and some quiz keywords are very much up for grabs, and there's nothing more fit for purpose than what we do for those particular uses.
Yeah, no, that's great. So where can people who's watching this sign up to QuizWizard? Like, what's the next steps for someone who says, do you know what, I need to start creating 1 or 2 quizzes for my site. I want to improve the dwell time. I want some of these that's very relevant to my niche to be asking them the questions and getting the answers back. I want to be capturing their email addresses. What's the best way of people signing up?
Yeah, just go to QuizWizard.AI. On there, if you sign up for a free account, you get up to 5 AI quizzes for free, as well as 5 blank quizzes, so 10 quizzes total. And then the cheapest plans get you dozens more. The way I try and show people how like good value this stuff can be is like, when you try and buy emails from like paid ads, you're looking at usually like $1 to $3 per subscription, and like on our cheapest plans, you can get emails converted on your site for like 2.7 cents per email, and so like you can get up to 100 times cheaper and make better use of the traffic you're already getting. Someone who already knows you exist, rather than trying to get faceless traffic to go onto a landing page and then sign up to a lead magnet. And so even the paid plans, in my opinion, are pretty cheap, and we're going to try and keep giving more quizzes away, but we're not reducing the price, because as long as we can keep making quizzes cheaper, we'll pass the benefits on to people. But they do carry value, and so when I see people like, oh, you should reduce the price, I'm like, okay, well, you just need to see how much value you can get from this, and that's my job to sell. But there's a lot of value, in my opinion, to creating more dynamic, integrated, engaging content that's interactive, versus just a static. I think static web pages are a bit 2023, and you need to get interactive, whether that's calculators, lead gen forms, quizzes, dynamic, a really good video content that takes your content, and it isn't just like an AI videos can do this to an extent, but it's never going to be as engaging as like a real interactive quiz calculator, real video. Even short form stuff can work, but you just got to go beyond the words. Normal, like some people do want to read words, but they also want to have it complemented by white space and other things that break it up. And so anything you can do to make that a more living, breathing, real experience, of which quizzes is one very good option, I 100% think that's the way to keep up and overtake your competition in 2024 and beyond.
Well, what a great way to wrapping up the video. It's been an absolute pleasure. If anyone's got any questions, should they reach out to yourself, or is there like a customer support within QuizWizard.ai? Yeah,
you can email support, or you can go to me on Twitter or LinkedIn. It's just Jamie_IF or JamieIF on LinkedIn. We have email support there. And then if you've got any questions, go for it. We've got a roadmap that has stuff that people have suggested, as well as some of the things that James mentioned that we want to get built. And feel free.
Well, Jamie's wrapped it up there. Great. If you're not making your pages more interactive and just having a big wall of content, if you're not adding certain things in there like quizzes that can increase dwell time and stuff like that, you should be doing. It's the future of SEO. So head over to QuizWizard.ai, and we hope you like the quizzes that Jamie and his developers created. Peace.
Cheers, James. Thank you.
Cheers, mate.